Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to another Delta Force video. So Season 2 or 3 if you're in China I guess, Starfall has finally arrived. And in this one I wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of how you unlock the new submachine gun, the QCQ171, and my overall best loadout for it. Before we begin, as always, if you guys do enjoy the content here on the channel, make sure you are subbed up for more Delta Force videos in the future. And as always guys, thank you so much for the support. So first off, where do you get this weapon? So if you come down here to events, you go to season event at the top and then to arms race, you will find the CQC171 submachine gun here. You can do this either via operations or warfare. I did it in warfare and I can't see them now because I've already completed them, but basically it is 4 different challenges. Essentially you just have to play the game, get some kills, get some objective points, things like that, nothing out of the ordinary. And once you get all 100 points and finish that progression track, you should unlock the weapon. So what kind of a weapon is this then? Well, to me, this is most similar to the MP5. It's got 26 damage here, so it's a 4-shot kill up close. You can also get it up to 804 rate of fire, which is how I run the weapon personally. I think that's really where it shines. Beware though, this weapon has a lot of recoil, both horizontal and vertical. I think this may in part be due to the fact that they've done a lot of rebalancing with the recoil system for all of the weapons in the game. I haven't really had a chance to try them all out and see how different they feel, but some of them still feel very tame. This one, on the other hand, very, very untame, even with fully unlocked attachments. So let's just jump into the loadout here, and I'll show you guys how I like to kit this one out. So as always, I will leave you guys the code down in the description, but just in case you haven't unlocked everything, let's just run through it quickly. So for the barrel, I go here with the new type red tassel. This is going to give you the best range and muzzle velocity and extra control. You really want to be stacking control on this weapon. If you do it on any weapon, let it be this one. All of the patches up here, you're going to be going with the Ranger handguard panels here for extra control once again. I like to put a riser on there for the optic. You're going to lose one handling, which is not that big of a deal, but it just gives you a little bit more screen real estate. Also allows any iron sights at the end of the weapon to keep out of your red dot sight. Obviously, the optic there is personal preference. For the magazine here, obviously you want to take the 45 round extended mag. Make sure that you take the mag assist there as well. For the grips, we only have 2 choices. We've got the new type sword heavy grip or the new type Vanguard light grip. This one's going to give you control and stability. The other one more handling. You're going to notice that the handling on this weapon is absolute trash. That's not going to matter. I'm going to show you guys why in a minute. For the stock here, I then go with the UR Spec Ops Tactical Grip. Again, more control and stability. We're really just stacking as much of that as we can. Now, when it comes down to the muzzle, normally I would go for the Bastion horizontal one to reduce horizontal recoil. However, on this weapon, I'll show you guys, if you go with this, it's quite hard to control the vertical recoil now. The horizontal recoil is still there, even though I have 2 attachments which are affecting it. But the vertical recoil, I mean, we can get the guy at 50 meters, but this guy, pretty much forget about it 100 meters. You know, even if you're really, really good at controlling recoil, it is still quite a challenge. And so for that reason, I prefer to get rid of the horizontal one, and I'm looking for something here that just gives us overall control to both reduce the horizontal and the vertical recoil. The SMG Echo Suppressor is a good bet here. If you like that one, feel free to take it. I also use that on the SMG 45. Then we've also got the Titanium Contest Muzzle Brake here. This one is great. It's going to give you 9 control, a little bit nerf there on the handling, but I prefer to actually go with the M7 Practical Suppressor. If you look, it does pretty much the same thing in terms of control as the titanium one here. It just nerfs your handling a bit. And for the way that I play, it's not really going to matter. Finally, here we come to the bolt, and you have 2 choices between bolts here, the rapid bolt or the stable bolt. The rapid bolt, if we just unequip this quickly, this one is going to nerf the range a little bit less control and accuracy, but it's going to increase the rate of fire up to 804. The stable bolt, however, is going to reduce the rate of fire and buff all of those things. Now, since this weapon really shines through its rate of fire, I think you're kind of missing a trick if you don't take this, because otherwise you're much better off going with something like the SR3M. It has similar rate of fire, it's got even higher of a damage model, and it is way more controllable, better at hip fire, pretty much better at everything else than this weapon. The final thing, of course, is the laser. I like to put this on the right-hand rail, and this is mostly so that we can use a canted sight. It's not really for the hipfire in particular. You guys can put the laser wherever you want. If you want to put it here on the top, feel free to do that. So when it comes down to the calibration, it's pretty simple. I just move all of the sliders to the right. So for the stock here, that's going to give you more firing stability, extra control. For the rear grip, stability when moving and extra control. For the foregrip, pretty much the same thing, more control and stability. And then for the barrel, it's going to give you, in this sense, more muzzle velocity, faster muzzle velocity, and better firing stability. And of course, when it comes to the optic, this is completely personal preference. So these are what the stats are going to look like here overall. We've got 26 damage there, mostly control. We've lost a lot of handling. I'm going to show you why that won't matter in a second. And we've gained some stability. So just to check the recoil quickly here, I mean, yeah, that is the original pattern there. Absolutely not. So much horizontal and vertical recoil. Believe me, guys, just try out this weapon. You will feel exactly what I'm talking about. We've reduced as much of it as we can here, but it's still going to take some considerable skill on your part to control this weapon, even with all of these modifiers. The handling, as I mentioned, is trash. Stability is up by a decent amount there, and the accuracy is pretty low as well. So I would say if you want a great hipfirer, go with the SR3M. This is not the one for you. So coming into the test range here, I'm going to show you guys why the handling on this weapon doesn't matter. And the handling is pretty bad now. That's pretty awful, right? However, a lot of people don't know this. If you cant your weapon, the ADS speed drastically improves, but you actually keep all of the accuracy characteristics, all of the attachments that you put on your weapon. You will keep those characteristics for the gun, no matter if you're canting your weapon or not, only the ADS speed is blisteringly fast. So if you play using a canted sight all the time, you don't really need to even worry about attachments that reduce your handling. Now, if you know where the middle of your screen is, that is going to help you, of course, tremendously. I think people who just generally play a lot, you just kind of get to know where the middle of your screen is, and it becomes easier with time. You know, additionally, if you happen to have a monitor that can project a crosshair on the screen so that you can see that even when you're canting, that's maybe a good idea to try that out. But to be honest, you don't even really need that. The laser points towards the middle of the screen anyway, so it's pretty clear, at least to me, where the center of my screen is. Now, obviously, if you're somebody who doesn't like this playstyle, you don't like canting your weapon, you just want to use a good old optic, then you're definitely going to want to use a lot more attachments on this weapon that don't reduce your handling quite so much. But then I would also argue that it becomes almost unusable because this SMG is just so high on the recoil there. Like I said at the start of the video, maybe all of the weapons have had a bit of an increase to recoil, and now you are required to burst them a little bit more. You can't just full auto beam people across the map. But I haven't really had time to try them out yet, so I will delve into all of that, do a little bit more research, and get back to you guys. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. As always, if you enjoyed it, leave a like down below, subscribe for more Delta Force, and I will see you guys in the next one.